I seem to be losing more hair every time I do these. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Raw Take. I'm your host, Rob Reed. This is your review for the July 30th, 2021 edition of WWE SmackDown. This episode was the proverbial mixed bag. There was good stuff. There was some, to me, some really bad stuff. We'll get into it. Show starts out. John Cena comes to the ring. Well, they did a whole recap with everything that happened last week. John Cena comes to the ring. He has a great line. He says, you know, if you can find someone who can make missionary position, keep it exciting, marry that person. I thought that was pretty funny. He talks about he feels like Roman Reigns accepted Finn Balor's challenge because he thinks that Finn Balor is an easier challenge and he's ducking Cena. This brings out Baron Corbin, who's still doing it. Okay. I'm at two odds with the Baron Corbin thing. Baron Corbin is really fucking good at this entire character. He's really good at his promos. He's believable. All that. I love that part. My problem. This entire character is based on comedy. Now, Baron is completely playing everything 100% straight. But it feels like everything else that involves it is treating it like it's comedy. And I do take some major issue with that. I'm hoping that this leads to something bigger for Corbin. Because he's really good at it right now. He's done really good with his promos. Are really compelling right now. Especially the ones he's been doing online, which, as we all know, aren't canon on television. But those have been really good. So Corbin comes out, and Cena says, "I didn't even recognize you," and Corbin is still talking about how he's down on his luck and he needs some money. He asks Cena for some money. Cena hands him a couple bucks, and he was like, "Really? That's all you've got? You're a Hollywood movie star. You obviously have more money than that." So this leads to Cena just hitting him with an attitude adjustment for the big pop. I'm not sure if I like that. Tonight, I'm going to say it. Tonight made John Cena look like a major fucking asshole. Like 100%, especially later on. I was not exactly the most happy about this segment. It was alright. I'm not super pissed about it, but I just didn't. There's just some things that I'm not fond of. I get it. They're trying to be funny with Corbin, but especially with a lot of people losing jobs lately, it really comes off really bad. Really tone deaf. That's what it feels like to me. So after this, we get a match between Rey Mysterio and Jimmy Uso. It was a really good match. Still following on to last week where the Usos won with the help of both people uh, with one person helping the other with leverage. Well, this week, Dominic helped Rey beat Jimmy Uso with help with leverage. I will say this, tonight was kind of weird. Like, almost all the baby faces did heel tactics. And I thought that was really weird. This, later on, I'll get to what John Cena did later on. And there's a big 10-man tag that ended with the baby faces winning with some kind of heel tactics, too. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I've never liked baby faces. I get it. I understand, like, some baby faces like Hogan or Dusty Rhodes used to poke guys in the eyes. That I'm fine with. But I mean, like, straight up cheating to win their matches. It's really weird to me. But I thought this was actually really good. One of the higher points of the show. This is pretty good. It moves to me, as much as I hate the constant rematches, at least this brought something fresh to it. And I actually do kind of like that they're building off of something that happened. They're actually making it part of the story. Just not, that's just how the match ended. Don't remember that. We'll move on. They're actually making it part of the story, which I do like that. Later, then we get Bianca Belair comes out. She's giving her a promo about, she won the title, has been defending it, and she's held the women's championship for over 100 days now. And she won an ESPY award and all this. This brings out Carmella, who wants to challenge. Somebody that has already lost to Bianca twice. Then this brings out Zelina Vega, who challenges Bianca, someone who hasn't won a single match since she's returned. She challenges Bianca to a match, which actually Bianca accepts, so that's going to be a match at some point. After this, both Carmella and Zelina Vega attack Bianca. This brings out the return of Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks helps Bianca fight off Carmella and Zelina Vega. They give a big hug to each other, and that's the end of that. Sure, that's the end of that. Next, we have Reggie. He's no longer Reginald. So that's the new name. The new Vince made him change a part of their name. Reggie has lost his nald. Reggie comes out. He's going to have a match. And initially, everybody thinks it's going to be Otis. Otis comes out with Chad Gable. He takes out a mic. He said, "No, he's the guy you're fighting," and runs into Reggie before the bell rings. And Reggie is actually defending the 24/7 title against Chad Gable. I really don't want to see Chad Gable lobbed in with the 24/7 geeks. This better be a one-off. But for this, it was all right. Reggie is not a trained wrestler. Apparently, there's a Twitter beef between Reggie, like legit Twitter beef between Reggie and Sin Cara over Reggie using using a trampoline in his entrance. Apparently, that's a real thing that happened on, I believe it was on Instagram. They had this long, drawn-out argument over Reggie using the trampoline, and it's really weird. For someone who is not really a trained wrestler, I will give Reggie his due. He's okay. My problem is we're getting way too much Reggie on TV. Like, they're putting him on almost as much as they are Roman Reigns. And I don't know. He's all right, and with the 24/7 stuff, I'm okay with. This match was okay. It ended quick, early. Otis came in and attacked Reggie, caused a DQ in the 24/7 title match, which is the dumbest shit ever. But Otis goes to throw Reggie, and Reggie does his flip and lands on his feet. I thought that was actually pretty cool. He landed right on his feet, and he started doing backflips up the ramp. So I'm guessing we're going to get another match with Reggie and Chad Gable at some point. I really do not want to see Chad Gable or Otis for that matter, lumped in with the 24/7 geeks. We don't need that. Both of those guys should be pushed to better stuff. I've really liked Otis lately. Ever since his heel turn, I think he's been doing really good. He really reminds me of kind of like Vader. He literally facially looks a lot like Vader, without the facial hair anymore. So after this, this is where I have some major problems with what happened tonight. Roman Reigns and Finn Balor come out to have a contract signing for the Universal title match at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns starts out. He was like, Cena kind of tore you down tonight earlier. He thinks you're not worthy of a title shot. I do. That's why I gave you and the whole time I'm like, Reigns isn't exactly lying here. He's kind of on the telling the truth here. Because Cena did come off kind of like he was burying Finn Balor by saying that Roman Reigns was accepting Finn Balor because it's an easier match. And I didn't like that. Cena has twice tonight, this is coming up, did some major fucking heel stuff. He buried Finn Balor, and then we'll see what he does right here. So, Roman signs the contract. A contract that literally has the names Roman Reigns and Finn Balor on them. Let's remember that. After Roman signs, Finn Balor stands up. He gets ready to sign. And Baron Corbin comes in and attacks Finn Balor from behind. Throws him around, throws him over the announce table, and he grabs the contract. So it looks like Corbin is going to sign the contract. Out comes John Cena, the babyface hero, throws out Corbin, takes Finn Balor's contract and signs it. And they make this whole deal that it is binding now, even though any person with minimum of law, I don't even know law, but I know this much. I know that if a contract has somebody else's name in the print and a different signatures wrote down, that contract is null fucking and void. Yet here it counts. So we have John Cena literally stealing Finn Balor's title match at SummerSlam. The fucking wonderful fucking babyface. Fuck that. I hated that. Absolutely fucking hated that. Really despised that. I don't know what it is. Cena has a long history of burying other baby faces, not just heels. He didn't bury a heel. He buried fucking Finn Balor. Completely buried him. It's so infuriating to watch stuff like that. They could have easily done any other way to have Cena get his title shot at Roman Reigns. Any other way. But they had to bury Finn Balor to do it? After this, we have a 10-man tag. No, sorry, it's a 6-man. Never mind. Big E, Cesaro, and Nakamura, they have a match with Dolph Ziggler, Bobby Roode, and Apollo Crews. Rick Boogs needs to go away. Seriously needs to go away. He did something I didn't think anybody could do. He made Commander Aziz my new hero. Because at some point in the match, Nakamura's fighting Apollo Crews. He goes to the top rope to do a move. And Rick Boogs starts playing his fucking guitar to make a distraction. Commander Aziz is my hero because he grabs the guitar and smashes it. It's like the scene in Animal House where the guy's being annoying with the guitar and John Belushi smashes the guitar. He's my hero. But this leads to Crews getting distracted. He gets hit with a Kinshasa. 1, 2, 3. Oh, not even a Kinshasa. Another fucking roll up. So, again, one of your champions has to lose their match. You have a 6-man tag. 2 people in the match. 5 other people in the match do not have titles. And they have to pin the guy who has a title. I hate that shit. You know, there's something came up recently. An interview with Brock Lesnar where he said that's one thing he absolutely hates is seeing champions losing matches. He said, if you beat the champion, you might as well be the champion. I 100% agree with Brock Lesnar. If you're pinning the champion, then that should be during a title match. I know people are going to say, well, Penna and Eddie Kingston did it one time in a nearly 3-year company. Did the challengers beat the champion in a match? And you know what happened in that match later? They got beat by the champions. Because the champions are really fucking hard to beat. Like, this show had so many things that annoyed me to my core, but there was some good stuff. After this, I believe right after this, we get our main event. It's a tag match with Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. They have a match against Carmella and Zelina Vega. And it's a really good match. There's a really fucking awesome spot where Carmella and Zelina Vega are on the outside. And Bianca, like, gorilla presses Sasha, steps on the steps, and throws her into Zelina and Carmella. And it looks awesome. It's an awesome spot. This was a really good match. No stupid shit. Just Sasha Banks gets Carmella in the bank statement, and Carmella taps out. And then after the match, shock of all shocks, Sasha Banks turns on Bianca. Hits her with a backstabber. Locks her in the bank statement for like forever. At this point, I think Sasha Banks is trying to beat Big Show's record in face and heel turns. I think she's trying to do that. But overall, that was really good. The stuff with Sasha and Bianca, and even with Carmella and Zelina, I thought it was really good. Really good. So it looks like we're going to get a rematch of Sasha and Bianca, which didn't take they didn't have a bunch of rematches during the 6 months since WrestleMania. So we'll actually have them having a match at SummerSlam still feels pretty fresh because they haven't touched each other since WrestleMania. I'm all for another match between Bianca and Sasha Banks. 100%. Going to be really good. So this episode was, like I said, was a mixed bag completely. I will say the really good stuff got super hampered by the really bad stuff. There was a lot of stuff that really let me down. Usually the Roman Reigns stuff is the best stuff on the show, and that whole segment ended up being the worst thing on the show to me. I was so pissed off after that. Like, I was extremely pissed about that. I'm hoping they do something to. I'm guessing that it's going to lead to Corbin versus Balor. That's fine, but you could have found any other way to get there. You could have found a million other ways to get those two matches. You didn't have to fuck over Finn Balor to do it. This has been your SmackDown review. This has been the Raw Take. I'm Rob Reed. If you like this video, put a like down below. Subscribe to the channel. I put up videos every day. Every TV show I put in pay-per-view, I do a review of. So
subscribe. Hit the notification bell. That will let you know when my videos come up. Follow me on Twitter at Mr. Rob Reed, and I will see you next time.